everybody. Welcome to another episode of the P-Town Pulse. I have another one ready to go. Another local business, Brea-based business. I got Revision Barbells here in the house. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves, and then we'll get going.
Thank you. I'm Anwar Engelhart. I am the lesser half of Revision Fitness / Revision Barbells. I am the COO, Chief Operating Officer, and I handle all the operations side of the house.
That's
and
the fun
business.
stuff,
Yeah.
huh?
Yep.
Yeah. And my name is Jenny Engelhart. I'm the other half of Revision Barbells, and I'm primarily responsible for marketing, social media content, and just general product education for our customers.
Excellent. And you guys are married.
Yes.
And we
You
are
guys have been
married.
married for a long time, right?
Yeah, we've been married since 2008, and I can't do math right now. But that's a really
Coming
long
up
time.
on 20.
Coming up
Yeah.
on 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but we've known each other for over 20 years.
Are you guys
So-
from here local, too?
She is.
Yeah, so I grew up in Placentia.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, everybody, it is a local-based show.
I'm definitely local. So, but he's originally from Whittier.
Okay.
Yeah.
I lived in Whittier for a while, over in off Santa Gertrudis, like everybody else, like starts in not Whittier at some point, living at the Mediterranean Apartments. You know?
Yeah.
Not ideal, but I put my time in.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your guys' business. So you guys do fitness equipment, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And it's called Revision Barbells, but you guys make all the stuff, like do all the things, right? So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, most of it. Our main focus is barbells, and over the years and the feedback we've gotten from the community is they want other accessories. So we started off with 2 barbells, a men's barbell and a female barbell. Fast forward a couple of years now, we have a whole line of plates, squat racks, a bunch of lifting accessories. We're working on maybe bringing on some of the commercial big gym machines that you'd see like at a typical
Like
global
the-
gym.
yeah, like the-
leg press and
all
like
those things. Yeah.
the ones where you would see maybe like in a hotel where it has the cables and you can have the
I love the cable ones,
Yeah.
personally, but it's just the point of my life that I'm in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't do a whole lot of I can't do squats, and I love doing squats. It's just it takes up too much space in my garage right now.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's go back a little bit. Jenny, let's start with you.
Okay.
What did you do before this? Because you guys started this in 2019, right?
Yes.
So you had whole lives before.
Yeah. So my career background is specifically in sales and also project management. And right around the time when this was all, kind of all came together, I was and actually still am a computer software consultant.
Oh.
So I work primarily remote. I got a new job doing software consulting, and then 2 months later, the pandemic hit, and I was just primarily doing consulting from home. And one day, my husband here said he really wanted a barbell like everybody else so that he could work out at home. But then he ended up being on a wait list for about 8 weeks, like everybody else.
Yeah.
So he told me, he's like, man, I'm so frustrated. I can't get this barbell. It costs a lot. Plus I'm waiting. I said, okay, great. And I went off and I did my own thing. And I kind of tucked that away for another time. And a week later, he said, I was doing some research and I found some online platforms that took kind of my designs and they ran with it and they're going to help me make it. And I said, make what? He said, make a barbell and I'm going to order a sample. And I said, okay, that's fine. Great. Fast forward another week. He goes, so that sample I was telling you about? I said, yeah. He said, well, so I had to order a few more. And I said, what is a few more? And he said, 60.
Okay, so this is the story I read online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a few. Had you seen a physical sample yet, or just?
Yeah, so we started her. I think she's condensing it. It was a little longer than a couple weeks.
We only got a couple minutes on the
Yeah,
show.
it took a while, but I first got 2 prototypes: a chrome one and a black chrome bar. So we could test the coatings and see how the overall design felt. The knurling is probably the biggest differentiator in a lot of barbells.
And that's the grooves in the
Yeah,
hand.
where you put your hands and sometimes you look at it, you're like, it tore up my hand. So we're looking for something that was really moderate.
I thought you're supposed to tear up your hands because that's how you got proof that you were in the gym and you were doing
So
this.
depending on what types of lifting you're doing, like the power lifters love super aggressive knurling because they're doing one lift and they don't want the bar to slip out, especially if you're doing like heavy deadlifts or bench press. In Olympic weightlifting, you want something not as aggressive.
Is that where you're throwing it up and doing the whole? You got a lot of motion in that, right?
Yes, correct. So, we got the prototypes, tested them out with some friends in the garage. We threw them around, did everything you're not supposed to do with barbells, like drop them on concrete without any plates.
That's a good idea, though. I mean, that's actual QC right there.
Yeah, we tried to get some of my stronger friends to come over and try to deadlift it and see if we could bend it, and it didn't happen.
What they call bending whip? Is that what it is?
The flex, the tensile of the whip that you get. But then after we tested the prototype, we're like, all right, let's do our MOQ, the minimum order quantity for production. And that's where she came in and said, oh, yeah, by the way, we're getting 60 barbells.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did you have a plan already to sell them? Like
me, I'm not in sales. I'm an operations engineer guy, finance, like I'm very analytical. So I was like, we have barbells. We have barbells. They're cheaper than everybody else's out there. They were just as great. People would buy them.
Yeah.
Super naive.
That was not my sentiment. My sentiment was, what? We're going to do what? So my thought process immediately was, okay, so we have a lot of barbells. We have to try to sell them. So really what I ended up doing was connecting with some local fitness communities and just introducing myself and giving them, kind of like my sales pitch of who we are, what we're trying to do. They invited us to their gym to do some initial promotional marketing. Got some really educational, great feedback, that kind of just about general presentation and what they thought of us and what they thought about the product. So we made some tweaks from there on, and it just...
Did you guys already have the name already? Or is it something that came later?
No, we started with Revision Fitness in 2019.
Okay.
We started as trainer. I was training a bunch of Diamond Bar high school tennis players in the garage for a couple years.
So fitness has been like your thing. Like that's like his life already before this.
Yep.
So what was Revision that brand name already, or was that something that
Yeah, we started with Revision Fitness,
and that was just doing the
personal training. Yep, personal training, and then I got the wild idea one day, bored, decided to make my own barbell, and that's kind of where we pivoted into the fitness equipment.
So going through COVID, because I had the same problem. It was like so we lived in a place called Woodland Hills up in the valley, and we moved down to Fullerton in December of 2019, right? Like I'm talking after Christmas, so like right at the end, so January technically. And our plan was to downsize a little bit and move and spend more time in the community because we were downtown Fullerton, like straight up in downtown, and had an awesome gym there. Now I was going to a semi-private gym in Woodland Hills and working out with an awesome trainer named Will. Loved the guy, got me in super great shape. Was super sad to leave that, but we were down in Fullerton getting ready to use our gym in our hotel or in our apartments, and then everything closed down. So coming out of that, like in late 2020 is when our lease was up there. We moved to a house over on the other side of Fullerton. I started to build out the home gym.
Right.
But it was the same thing is I couldn't find I couldn't get any power racks. Everybody was sold out. Like all the big boys, sold out. So like the same thing, waiting list forever and ever and ever. I had actually found some adjustable weights it actually ended up being on Amazon because everybody was wearing the Bowflex ones.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I found some ones from Europe, like straight up from Europe, full kilogram, whole thing, adjustable, and I paid like $600 for each handle.
Yeah.
Still have them because that was a price that was so much that I'm unwilling to part with those. But I remember when they were being delivered, the UPS guys like, where'd you get those? Like I've been trying to get those because that was all you could ever get. And I ended up finally finding my buddy, my best friend, was trying to dump some of his old equipment because he was getting new equipment. And I pieced together a power rack and a bar. I don't even know what the bar was from. It was stiff as hell.
Yeah.
But it was a full 45-pound bar. And I ran that for years until we got this house. And then I just switched up to, because I have a golf simulator in the garage now.
Oh,
nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now it's tonal. But, I do miss, like, the actual, there's just so much that, like, it feels so good when you're in an actual squat rack and you actually go down, you put the bar up and you clank it and the whole thing. Like, you feel like you did something. You don't really get that with a tonal. You feel like you were doing jazzercise in the
Yeah.
I mean, there's a place for that stuff, but overall general strength, you have to lift weights.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, I don't like. Cause I do feel. So when you have the weight on your shoulders and you're going down, you don't have a way to really half-ass it. when you're doing cables, like, which I love because it's constant tension, but you can. You can just let go if you really want to at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think it's really helpful, and especially for me with the product that we have, to educate, especially women, on how to build strength, because it's not something that is very promoted, I think.
It could be scary. I could see it intimidating. You go in with a bunch of dudes in singlets running around, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's why you find a lot of women on like the machines. And I was like that prior to joining like a CrossFit gym.
Okay.
I never touched a barbell before. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get bulky. I'm going to look crazy and
That
all
is
of that
what I
stuff.
hear all the time.
I
Right.
wish it was that easy.
Yeah, and I will tell you, it is not easy to build muscle and keep muscle. And now that I'm in my 40s, it's really more important to do exercises like this because of, muscle breakdown over time, osteoporosis, especially for women. So I really try to kind of let our customers know that, you can do kind of like a progression from just a 5 pound to a 15 to a 35 to a 45, and then eventually put on weights. So you don't have to buy all the weights in the beginning. You could just do very simple, very difficult workouts with just a barbell.
So that is awesome. I think that that is such and I remember even for me working out, but the first time I was seeing a barbell, it's like, what do you do? And then you try to pick it up and then you're like, oh, this thing's heavier than I expected. And it is like, I remember when I found out you could just do it, you don't have to put any weight on it. You could just figure out your motion and figure out what you're doing with it, and all that was like a big thing. And then, because especially when you're in a gym with other people around, you don't want them to see like you're kind of working through some thoughts on some things, and on that.
Yeah.
So were you part of the personal training too at all?
I did personal training primarily for kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was part of that. We did some resistance bands training. He was more sports focused, sports technique focused.
You gotta be in shape for that.
Yeah.
Well, they really didn't. They underestimated strength training in a lot of these.
Because they do cardio so much, right?
And then a lot of them too, they get repetitive motion too. The tennis elbow, rotator cuff, wrists. And it's a lot of pushing off. So we worked on a lot of lunging and squatting.
You see that in golf now too, because before, it wasn't seen as like an athletic thing, but like the guys now, they're all in great shape, but they do the same thing. The lunges, the big, like the twists and all that. And like, it's a lot more, because it's repetitive motion doing the same thing. You want to blow your shoulder out every day.
It's a sport. I mean, you have to be physically ready to play the sport, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we brought in for the kids.
So coming back to the barbells, the 60 barbells. So what'd you do with those? Because like did you have you didn't have a base set up to sell these things, right?
We got a truck, like a big lift gate truck that showed up in our community, and he couldn't make it in our little gated, or not gated, but a small street that we have. So he had to park out on the street, and we didn't have a forklift or a pallet jack. So we had to crack open the crates and manually take every barbell one by one out of the crate and then walk them. So what we did was we loaded them into the back of my truck, and then I drove the truck around and offloaded them into the garage.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think how much space 60 would take. Were they in boxes or were they just wrapped?
So it's in a large wooden crate, and then we have them each one in like a 4-inch diameter tube.
Yeah, it will definitely fit in your garage. I can attest to that. It was a great forearm workout.
Yeah.
And it will fit in your garage. Yeah. It was just all over the floor.
There's tubes everywhere.
We did not have a plan. We did not have a website in that exact moment when we received it. So kind of our marketing strategy was none. So we were very grassroots at that time.
Yeah. How long did it take to move that inventory?
For the 60 barbells, what would you say? Like 6 months?
Yeah,
It didn't take very long.
That was actually pretty quick for.
Yeah, it didn't take very long because very soon after he was already talking about restocking. I said, whoa.
Well, yeah.
What are we doing?
We've been very fortunate that we came from the CrossFit and weightlifting.
So you already had some people that you could go talk to in gyms, like what do they call them? Little boxes, right?
Boxes. And then there's always community events and competitions. They give local businesses opportunities like you are to come and just set up shop and talk about it and then sell the equipment. So that's where we got the feedback about kind of our overall presentation. So we did not do a great job in planning and signage. So
sometimes, so I'll tell you a story in a minute, but sometimes not having a plan becomes the plan because you have to light a fire under your ass. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, it's
and
real.
that was what motivated me, because the moment he told me 60 barbells was coming, I said, "Oh, we're serious about this." Okay,
'Cause
so
otherwise it's hypothetical forever and ever and ever,
Right.
and you can just kick the can down the road. as
right.
much as you want.
Yeah.
So he said they're coming, and in my mind, I immediately thought, okay, well now I really need to get serious about how I'm going to sell these.
I haven't really talked about this on any of my shows, but I had a skateboard company back in 2008 and 9, and I manufacture the product. I came from the skate industry before. I was a buyer before. I had 3 different lives. I was a buyer before I did cybersecurity for a chain of retail stores in the Northwest that was kind of like a Zoomies.
Yeah.
So same type of products. I was hard goods buyer in the top men's line. So whatever was like the top 50% of our lines I was the buyer. But through those connections, when I moved to Southern California later, I started a skateboard company using those connections, and had my boards manufactured by a company called Dwindle Distribution, which is part of Globe Shoes. They make like Dark Star, they make Enjoy, all those boards. But the thing is I had to have them manufactured in China.
Right.
And then to your point is you have to talk about the reorder, because it takes 90 days from
Yeah.
when I place the order to when I actually receive the product.
Yeah.
So if my sell-through was faster than I had expected,
Oh, yeah.
I could have no inventory and then lose buyers because they just go with something else. And in
Right.
the skateboards, you really want to make sure that you can fulfill that order, because they're just going to move on to something else. You don't want them getting hooked on something.
Right.
Right,
You're getting
yeah.
another brand. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it was the same thing. Like my first order was 100, and then like I think I had sold like 10. No, I sold 20% of my very first order because I went back to my old company.
Yeah.
They bought it.
Yeah.
And as soon as that PO cleared and I got the check, I ordered 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
we really doubled down, and it was a big thing. Like I did the same thing with Grassroots. Is I would go to skate parks, I would go to these other buyers that I used to know from trade shows, and go to their shops. And then it was when MySpace was really cool.
Yeah. I remember
There we
MySpace.
go. Yeah,
it was-
we're dating
so-
ourselves.
Yeah.
There we go.
I was good with computers at the time, and I could go to a skate shop that would set up their MySpace. We're getting too far into my own story.
Oh.
But-
You're good.
But I would steal their friends list using a web crawler. And then what I would do is I'd go to that shop, and then I would try to consign the boards. And if they wouldn't do it, I would auto add their entire friends list. And then if anybody that accepted, I would auto drop the flyer and say available at whatever the shop I pulled it
Yeah.
from. Go ask. And every single time within 4 to 5 days, that shop would call me, ask for the boards, and it was no longer consignment.
Yeah.
It was you got prepaid.
Oh, very nice. I might need to steal that
But
trick.
I mean, there's a lot of parallels there, because we did the same thing with the community, right? Like you went to the
I had to
industry that
show
you
my
knew.
face.
And
My
that's what
face had to be there.
We have to do the same thing, and we've noticed that like when we step back and just focus on the e-commerce side, it doesn't do as well. People are used to seeing us in the community. They love seeing us at events. They love our quirky little videos, but we listen to feedback, right? We're here for the community, and the community tells us what they want. So if I hear it enough times, that means there's more people are thinking about it. So one of the best things that I think somebody probably recommended is they asked us to leave the bar, to actually demo it for.
See, they asked me to leave the bar. It's usually a different type of.
yeah.
Where'd you go? No, sorry.
At 2 a.m., right? Hey, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, right?
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. So we took that back and we kind of nulled it around, like,
Because it's kind of it's an investment, right? To have to like leave it behind and let people use it,
and then it gets used, and some people don't really want.
if they don't want it, then you can't sell it again. Yeah.
But it was probably one of the best things that we took back, because then we went around and we just started dropping off 2 bars, a men's bar and a female bar. Test it for a week. Just watch it, make sure it doesn't walk off. I don't care what you do with it. Like, let us know. And then half the time they'd say, how much? Don't come back. We'll buy it.
Yeah.
And we started doing that. And then,
How long is a lifespan on a bar typically?
so we have a couple different bars, but our normal CrossFit Olympic weightlifting with needle bearings in it, it'll last a good long time as long as you maintain the needle bearings.
I watched your video on you pulling one apart and,
Yeah.
and taking care of it, maintaining it, cleaning it.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. We get that asked a lot, or to maintenance and show how to service
I mean,
your
so
barbell.
those videos, like, not that I'm a social media expert, but like those little shorts and stuff that do those types of things, that's what people want, like right now. Like I want to be able to like YouTube something, see how to do it, and then get out of there. And like it matters to have all those little things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So that stemmed into, doing kind of like maintenance kits that we can sell, or little like starter packs with all of the tools, because not everyone has this laying around in their garage.
Yeah, that's great.
And he's even been asked to go and maintenance bars because most people don't want to do that or
Yeah,
don't have time.
I'll tell you right now, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, and so
most people
I
don't.
estimate it super high. Yeah, it's like $1,000. Like, nah. I was like,
So I do that with my consulting hours. I do the same thing, and if
Yeah.
they do it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go do it.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. So those are definitely good feedbacks. And we really want to focus on the person who is just getting into fitness. We focus our product and our marketing towards the average person who's, next to you in the gym. They probably have kids, they have a family, they have a full-time job, but they're still making time in the day for their health and well-being. We've definitely also dabbled in the community to work with elite athletes as well. But we feel that just given our story and kind of what our goal is we want to focus on that person that is just getting started. They're seeing the results and they're sticking with it.
Yeah. Are you good targeting people to like buy these to work for build home gyms and things like that? Is that
both? So we work with gym owners, and then we also work with the person who are building their home gyms. A lot of our customers build home gyms. They work out with their kids because
it's so nice to have one when you can just do it on your own schedule. It
Yeah.
can be. It's a catch-22 because it's awesome to have access to it when you can do it.
Right.
But it's in a weird way, it can be demotivating because it's just right there.
Yeah.
If you actually have to physically go to the gym, like you're like, all right, I'm here now.
I have to
better
focus.
make it worth my while.
And our customers are both. So we have a lot of people that have CrossFit, community CrossFit gym memberships. They have global gym memberships, and then they have their own home gym.
Yeah, okay.
So they'll
They
do
get
it
it all.
across the board. We have customers that will buy equipment for their home gym, buy another bar, and then leave it at their gym so they can.
I do see people doing that. That's more common than I think people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very common. And that's how he got the idea for our latest product, which is the barbell lock, because a lot of
Patent
people.
Is that the one with the magnets on it?
It doesn't have magnets. It's a clamshell.
Okay.
Yeah, the magnets are the collars that
Yeah.
you
Okay.
keep the plates on. This is a barbell lock.
Oh, is this the one that actually has the physical lock on it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So tell me more about that, because I was trying to, because it is for when I leave it at the gym, right? So other people can use it, throw some weights on there and all that.
Correct. Yeah. So we, again, going back to community feedback, we had quite a few people ask us can make one, and I'm like, that seems like a lot of work and not really that. But there's only one on the market, and people complain about it because it's bulky. You have to use an Allen wrench and take all this
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. None of that.
And it slides off, and it's like, well, what good is this? So, a couple ideas. I real quickly cut up some cardboard, made a template. Was talking with a couple the members that wanted it, and they're like, oh yeah, that'd be perfect. So then I went to my free CAD and started mocking it up.
So you're really the one in there designing and doing all of this.
Yes, and this is what really sets us apart that a lot of people don't think. They think we're just a drop shipper, or we just buy stuff from these platforms and slap our name on it, or like white labeling. We don't do that. Like, we go and we work with the manufacturers, we take feedback, we get prototypes, we test it, and then we come up with a better design at a much cheaper price than all the bigger retailers.
Now that's something I think you really need to make sure you drive home.
Right.
Is on that. So let's make sure everybody that you understand they actually do this.
Yeah.
Like, they actually are making these products. They're not drop shippers.
Yeah, so we took the cardboard template just to get the idea down and the functionality before I actually started doing the engineering design. And then I sent the specifications to my manufacturer, and they're really good at working with me and saying, hey, what about this? What about this? And so we kind of went through a couple, revisions of
There we go.
the design, right? And we settled on, and they sent me a 3D printed sample, a couple different ones. We had one with a pressed-in welded pin, or welded into the ABS plastic, or like an Allen wrench with Loctite. And we tested them out, and the pressed-in pin, one, it cut down costs, and it really worked. And then you can either use a lock that you have, or we offer two options. One with the combo,
Yeah,
with
it's
the
the
numbers,
combo one. I like the combo one. Yeah.
or the aluminum one with our branded and a key. And so that's kind of one of our latest ones.
Do you put AirTag holders in them yet? So people, if their barbell can't get stolen?
I was thinking somewhere along the
But that was
lines.
to wait a little bit.
Yeah, where I was looking at digitally captured spray paint I don't know if you remember watching hockey in like the 90s and they had the fast track puck, or remember when they shoot it and you could see like the little tail.
Yes, I do.
So I was thinking,
yeah.
so I was thinking about that idea where you can put it on the end cap. So then you have digital software, right, that would map your movement patterns for coaching and, you know, for a lot of different things. And unfortunately, there isn't a really good coding for it. It's all like a digital, like a microchip, and that would just get destroyed. So that's kind of like on my back burner.
What about like, because like on the golf simulators, you know, like on the heads of the golf clubs, you put like these little white dots on, and that just is like set so it can calibrate each time, and then it would know how far off center you are and things like that.
So we were thinking about that because we also we are the only barbell manufacturer, barbell company that does custom end caps. So I have a laser, and we made a bunch of aluminum anodized end caps, different
so you're
colors.
making those caps yourself?
So I outsourced the production of the caps, but then the artwork and the laser and the install I do in shop.
Got it.
Yeah. So somebody will send me like your logo right there, and you want it on the end of your your barbell, and like blue, I can laser it on there.
I do. I don't make them. I buy these things called mic plates. They're not for these. They're for my other microphones. I was hoping they were going to be here today. We would be using those microphones, but they magnetically stick on, and it has the new
your branding.
Yeah.
Right?
So I have it for the main show. I have this logo on it, and then for the P-Town Pulse, it's going to have. Logo. They probably are in the mailbox. I just did.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people want to customize. You know, they can either customize the color or they customize the end cap. And for people that leave their bars at the gym, it's a very quick way to know if it's yours or not.
I thought it was cool because I've seen black bars and I've seen the silver ones, obviously, and like the dark grays and all that. But you guys have like actual colors.
Yeah. So we have the gold. We have the gold ones. We have the black, chrome, and then we had a mermaid color. And then we also do Cerakotes. But because we're both weightlifters ourselves, I felt it was super important on the feel of the bar. And Cerakotes, even though they're very nice coloring, when you actually use the bar, there's like an extra layer between your hand and the bar. So it feels a little bit weird. So I had asked, I said, what if we just do no coloring, no coating, but I can still change the color? And he took that and ran with it.
So it worked. Yeah, it was iridescent. So the mermaid one, we called it was iridescent. So it was like purple, gold, green, yellow. Super
kind of like
cool.
oil slick someone did.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so it was a vacuum powder coating. There's some technical names. I'll steer away from that. But you spray that powder coater on it, and then they use vacuum to heat or, basically chemically bake the metal.
Yeah. So we've been doing this since 2019, and I think for the first 3 years, we have really just been traveling up and down California and
down the pavement.
Nevada, Arizona. I mean, there were a few years in there where we were doing probably 3 events every month. Yeah. And it was a lot of time away, but we met a lot of great people, got a lot of feedback, and that's initially how we, got our name out there. So right now we were pulling back a little bit because of just life stuff happens. And then that type of travel is just not sustainable. So right now we're focusing on that. And then also on our e-commerce business and on our retail retail.
Let's talk about your retail store, because you guys have a new retail store in Brea. So where is that actually?
It's right here in Brea. It's 357 Cliffwood Park Street, Unit F in Brea.
And that will be in the description of this video for anybody that's watching. It'll also be on the screen in this video. But for anybody that's listening, there'll be a clickable link in the description of this video so you can go find them and go get yourself a barbell. So you guys make more than barbells too right now, right? You guys make a bunch of other accessories and everything.
Yes.
Can you give me a quick run through of those, and then we'll do some final questions for you guys?
Yeah, so accessory items are going to be things like resistance bands as well as collars for your barbells. And then we have athletic tape that you can use if you're a weightlifter. Also things like stickers, apparel, the barbell lock, which Anwar has mentioned, and then wristbands, silicone grips for anybody doing gymnastics workouts too. Oh, wow. So a whole slew.
I saw the silicone grips. I was curious about those.
Those are cheating. Like, you stick to the bar.
Really?
Yeah.
It takes away the grip.
You can definitely use them for things like pull-ups or toast-to-bar or muscle-ups and things like that. But for the general fitness person, you can use them also to work out with your barbell or any type of movement where you need to grip something.
Instead of gloves.
Yeah.
Instead of gloves.
So, I tried to wear my gloves when I was working out with Will years ago. He almost slapped me.
Yeah, it's kind of being
No
in that
comment.
space. Being in that space, it's very uncommon to see actual gloves, so it's
Yeah.
kind of
I was
trippy.
just, well, I have computer hands, and I was trying to maintain my computer hands.
Yeah. A lot of people at the boxes are kind of like, but I've seen gloves being more used in global gyms than actual CrossFit spaces or even weightlifting. So either one works.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to have your hands encased in gloves, the grips are probably a good alternative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right.
You can spin them around so they're not in front of you.
Yeah. And there's different colors because, life is colorful. So
Everybody's
why
different.
not?
I like colors. clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like bright colors.
Yeah.
So, as we wrap up, a couple of things I usually ask, normally there's restaurants on here, but this one applies to everybody. You would ask each of you to have what's one thing that you learned while doing this business that actually surprised you? Like, it could be something like that was a good thing. It could be like a bad thing. It could be whatever,
Oh, that's a really good question.
That's great. There's a lot that surprised me. One, my overconfidence that people would just buy a bar just because I say it's good, right? People actually have to use it. But I think the one thing that surprised me is a lot of people really don't like the big brands.
Interesting.
We get a lot of feedback like they're the only game in town, so they have to. And that's what really surprised me because I thought it was, everybody wanted to buy the big brand because, the name, right? But a lot of feedback that we get.
When you start to mass produce things like at that scale, there's got to be a little bit. When I had Frank Stefano and Mustache Mike on, they're both their things. Is when you start to get too big, the quality suffers first, almost always, because you're trying to just make so much, you lose QC, and you're trying to get more profit out of it, and you start to
rush.
lose.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest surprise because I thought people would be like, oh, we're going to go with the big brands. But really what surprised me was we would want a smaller local, but sometimes we just don't get our name out in front of everybody, or they go to what's, convenient.
Yeah.
Right. So
Do you guys hold inventory?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
yeah. So on our website, if you see something that's out of stock, so we rarely do any pre-orders.
Okay.
I will only sell on the website what I physically have in hand because I cannot trust the ports.
Yeah.
With all the crazy stuff that they've done. They've gone through strikes, when we got product and our stuff set out in the ocean for 2 months. I
remember going down to Huntington and seeing all the boats out there. I was
Yeah.
whoa.
And
ships.
Yeah. And I've been in supply chain for so long that I will not sell anything that we don't physically have because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that's a great way to do it because also it makes the less disappointed customers.
Yeah. It's I want it now. So if you're really like me, I want it now,
Yeah.
now. So yes, we carry all our inventory.
Yeah, what's surprising for me? I think it's surprising in a good way of how much a community really will rally around our brand and our business once they get to know us, and also once they get to know our product. I think generally people are very willing to help you out and help you spread the name and kind of using our products. And we have a lot of recurring customers, which
awesome.
we're you bought 2 barbells already. You want more? I'll sell you another one, but you have 2 barbells, right? Sometimes I'm
All the
almost
colors.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I want to be that practical mom that's you sure you need another one?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
We love your business, but
Yeah. So that's been really surprising in a really good way for me.
So the last question then that I have for you guys is, obviously this is a local centric store or show here. What are some of the local businesses that you guys both go to that you frequent that you enjoy? It could be a restaurant. It could be childcare place. I don't even know. It could be anything in the area that you think is worth shouting out.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, down the street from us is the House of Thai restaurant that we always go to. I think the owner actually owns 2. One down on Imperial and Bass and Cherry.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's House of Thai. And then she owns another Thai restaurant on Imperial right next to Bob's Discount Store. So
Big
those...
Thai fan, so this is good information for us.
Yeah. So she does a great job.
super friendly.
Super friendly. Great alcohol selection.
Okay,
Love it.
That's important to me too.
Love it too.
And
So,
real
yeah.
Thai spice.
Yes.
You want
So
real spice?
that's always a thing. So I was in the Pacific Northwest recently, and I went to a Thai food place, and there is a certain type of folk that normally live up there. And I was like, I want hot.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's time. I'm like, yes, I know. I want hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want my face melting, and definitely still came mild.
Yeah, no, we if you go there and you get medium, you can sweat.
Yeah, I didn't want like the dying one. I wanted to sweat a little bit. That's exactly what I wanted.
No, we're very big because we're local. We try to support local businesses all the time.
Good. I like that. Me too.
So there's a local groomers called Paradise that's right on. I don't know if you use them or
I
not.
don't. I have a local guy that mobile. He's from La Habra. That kind
Oh,
of
okay.
area.
Yeah, so that's a great one.
Try.
I go to Champagne's too for once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, we try to
She's gonna
support.
come.
We try to support small business and local as much as we can. One is I use the box zone out there in Anaheim for a lot of my shipping products, the boxes, and they're local and stuff.
That's good because that's a good one because I think so many people try to go like a U-line or something like that.
I can't stand Uline. I can't stand Uline. They gotten too big. Like maybe 20 years ago they were cool. Now they're just a typical corporate company. I'm like, I'll go somewhere else and buy my stuff.
That's good. Did they print on the boxes and everything for you? Do the whole make it look all pretty?
No. So what we did was we ended up just going with branded tape, the logo on her.
Okay.
Yeah. So I got
That's
my
a good idea
hat.
because that's probably a lot better.
It's so much easier because we looked at branding boxes and it's pretty, but at the end of the day, it's going to go in a recycle bin, hopefully. And
That's a good point.
the tape, it works great. We have to use tape for everything, so we might as well have it branded. So our tape is branded, and we just get regular brown corrugated boxes or some of the white boxes to make it look a little nicer. But yeah, I go down there to that box zone and
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, anything else that you want everybody to know about the business before we close up for the day?
I'll let my BD person over here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're excited about our new warehouse and retail store location in Brea. So definitely want everyone to at least stop by, check out our new display room area, which is going to be a lot nicer than what it was before. So just cleaning it up and just giving it a shot.
Yeah, I'm also always open to my next challenge. I get a request to make something or build something. So if you're willing to wait, we can I know we've got one guy, physical therapist that's asking for this very unique piece, and I got to wait till I move because I've already got it in my head, super easy design, but I think it would be very good for the elder population for them to be able to deadlift. Yeah, so we've got a trap bar design that I've got in my head. I just haven't had a time to put it together yet.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Yes, thank you.
Revision Barbells, everybody, in Brea. Again, the address will be in the description of this video and on the screen right now. I'll also put links, QR codes on the screen for anybody that's watching that wants to scan and go directly to their e-commerce store and buy any products there. But see, it's more than just restaurants. There's actual local brands, and a lot of us are into fitness in this world right now. You can shop local, even for this type of product. So everybody, please visit them. Check them out, buy their products, go swing by the retail store, do all the things. So
Save on shipping, yeah.
save on shipping. That's probably a lot for one of those things, I can imagine. So
Yeah, UPS, it just keeps going up.
it ain't going down anytime soon.